Turbo Granny is the main villain in the DANDADAN series during her own arc. She's a cruel and scary yokai who ended up living in a tunnel in Shono City after merging with a spirit. Over time, she's become infamous across Japan for her weird and rude ways of scaring people. Even though she seems heartless, she does show some sympathy for girls who died tragic deaths and is even rumored to comfort them. Turbo Granny is sneaky and ruthless, and she takes a lot of pride in her powers. After merging with the spirit, she became even stronger, and her presence became more terrifying. But what makes her stand out? To truly understand her power, it's important to take a closer look at her abilities and see just how far her potential goes. Before we continue any further, please press the like button and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads. Now, let's begin. Yokai, in general, have powers that make them far stronger than regular humans. Each one has unique abilities that often relate to their name or title. Some of these powers even come from skills they had when they were still human. For example, acrobatic Silky was known for being an incredible acrobat before her death, which explains her talent for graceful, agile movements even as a spirit. Turbo Granny, also called the 100 km/h Granny, has the ability to run at 3 times the speed of the fastest human. This speed makes her really proud, and she believes she can outrun anyone she comes across. Her speed gave her a lot of influence in modern times, allowing her to terrorize most of Japan. But her powers don't stop at running fast. Like other yokai, Turbo Granny can merge with other spirits, gaining their powers. In Chapter 7 of the manga, Momo and Okurun are being chased by both Turbo Granny and another spirit called the Earthbound Spirit Crab. The two spirits eventually team up by fusing together. After merging, Turbo Granny keeps her insane speed, but also gains the strength of the Earthbound Spirit Crab, turning them into an even more terrifying threat. When Turbo Granny merges with the Earthbound Spirit Crab, she gains an ability called Territory Control, which makes her even scarier. Okurun and Momo found this out the hard way when they tried to escape Shono City. They thought they'd outsmarted the spirits by trapping the Earthbound Spirit Crab in a bathhouse, where hot spring water firmed up the crab's meat and slowed it down. But when they tried to flee, Turbo Granny and the crab used territory control to summon spirits from a nearby cemetery to chase after them. Earlier in the story, when Okurun and Momo visited Turbo Granny in her tunnel, she used this same power to corner them. She created 2 huge heads at both ends of the tunnel, trapping them inside. On top of that, she managed to catch Momo off guard by creating a cage made out of hands, stopping her from escaping. This shows just how dangerous her territory control ability can be. But what's even more unpredictable about Turbo Granny is her strange power related to luck. After getting trapped in a Maneki Neko, a lucky cat doll, Turbo Granny somehow gained the ability to bring good luck to others, though she can't really control it. Sometimes she accidentally helps her enemies. In one case, during the Cursed House arc, Momo was in a hot spring when members of the Kido family tried to attack her. She ended up escaping unharmed when walls and statues collapsed on her attackers out of nowhere. This lucky event seemed to be Turbo Granny's power at play, even if she didn't mean to help Momo directly. Turbo Granny's most terrifying power is her ability to curse people. If someone runs away from her or challenges her to a race, she can place a curse on them just by catching up. Once the curse is in place, she possesses the person, giving her control over them and access to abilities they couldn't have imagined. What's worse is that this curse is contagious. If the person she possesses looks at someone else, Turbo Granny can attack that new person. These attacks range from something small, like giving someone a nosebleed, to much more dangerous things, like causing a heart attack. Once someone is cursed, the only way to lift it is through an exorcism or by recovering the reproductive organs she's stolen. Besides cursing people, Turbo Granny has another dangerous ability. She can shapeshift in an instant. This makes it hard to track her down, as she can switch between her physical body and a spiritual form. In her spiritual form, she becomes immune to most physical attacks and can possess anyone she wants. When you add this to her cursing powers, it makes her an unpredictable and dangerous enemy. Turbo Granny isn't just fast. She can also call on spirits to help her using her territory control ability. and by fusing with other spirits, she can cover her own weaknesses, making her even more of a threat. Dandadan has plenty of powerful and mysterious yokai, but very few can stand up to Turbo Granny, who's basically evil in its purest form. Now that we've covered Turbo Granny's powers, let's talk about what yokai are. DANDADAN is one of the most anticipated anime premiering in early October. It takes us into a unique world with two main characters, Takakura-kin and Momo Ayase, who discover that their reality is filled with beings from both the spirit world and outer space. In this odd setting, aliens and ghost-like figures coexist and are often hostile toward humans. This leads the characters into wild adventures as they navigate high school while exploring their interests in these unbelievable beings. One of the key challenges they face is dealing with yokai. Yokai are spiritual apparitions that tend to be unfriendly to humans. They are basically the spirits of people who have unfinished business in the living world. These spirits emerge from negative emotions and grudges, often appearing as twisted versions of who they were in life. Yokai come in various shapes and sizes, each with its own distinct features. Their reputation is closely linked to their power and the fear they inspire, often becoming the stuff of legends and folklore. In a world also filled with powerful aliens, the abilities of yokai are especially significant. Yokai take on forms from popular Japanese legends and folklore. They are spirits of people who linger on Earth due to the negative or traumatic experiences they faced while alive. In DANDADAN, these yokai show up as creepy and grotesque figures, each with their own personality and reasons for their actions. They exist between the living and the dead, and typically they only appear to humans who have a strong connection to the supernatural, like our main character, Takakura-kin. Yokai often attack humans because they believe that by absorbing their life force, they can return to the living world. This idea, though, is just speculation. The tough lives they led and their desperate longing for life make them seem hostile and even evil. But that's not entirely true. Yokai are categorized based on their strength, with the most powerful being the mountain yokai, which are so strong that they can even be worshipped as gods. Yokai aren't your everyday occurrence in DANDADAN. They're so rare that many people think of them as myths or legends. These spirits exist in a space between the living and the dead, which makes their interactions with humans mostly one-sided because they can be hard to see. While they don't show up often, they can still be dangerous. When yokai do appear in the human world, they can cause serious injuries or even fatalities, depending on their temperament. Since they tend to be aggressive, it's usually safer for humans to stay away from areas they consider their territory. Their elusive nature makes yokai both a nuisance and a threat. Even though most of them stick to their own domains, some can pop up anywhere. This unpredictability makes them a challenge for regular people and those who are more spiritually aware. Most humans can't see or interact with yokai, which makes encounters especially risky. This creates a hidden danger, as people might not even realize they're facing a yokai. Thankfully, because they're so rare, most people won't have to deal with them too often,